Good morning. It is another Saturday morning coffee episode here on Alcove. And whether you're joining me with a cup of coffee, tea, or maybe you're having a champagne breakfast, I hope it is exactly what you are looking for. And you know what? Good morning. One of my very first jobs, I feel comfortable saying good morning, even though some people don't like being told or hearing that later in the day. And you could be listening to this later in the day. But one of my very first jobs was at a truck stop, right? And at that truck stop, the manager was very serious about this. She explained that it doesn't matter what time of day it is, it's somebody's morning that's coming through that truck stop. So whether it's 8 a.m., noon, 8 p.m., or midnight, they're probably just starting their day. So the actual rules at that truck stop, and we could get in trouble for this if we didn't do it. We had to say good morning. We could never say good afternoon, good evening, have a good night. It always had to be have a good morning. Anyways, let's get back to the show. First up, speaking of that bright, sunshiny day, I finally managed to get the balcony set up, and it looks beautiful. You'll have to check out the Twitter or x.com post to see a picture of it, but it is looking real nice. I got it all assembled with tomatoes, basil, green onions, a bunch of different flowers. I got some nice pretty white lights to help light it up at night. I got a little mini barbecue, a couple of very relaxing chairs, and let me tell you what, I could drink a lot of beer sitting on that back patio. I don't think my gout would agree that I could drink a lot of beer, but it feels like I could drink a lot of beer back there. I am also, you know what, this might be a great time for me to take that first drink of coffee there. So I hope you're taking drinks with me. All right, so I'm looking for more ways to fall in love with my back patio, and I'm not sure what to do. Now, my mother-in-law got me a hummingbird feeder, but I'm going to be honest, I have never seen a hummingbird in Moscow. So I don't know if that one's going to be all that much of an attractive feature. I don't know what else to put up there. It's a very small space. I could put some more flowers, but that, again, I was looking for like a 5-tier planter box at Costco. Couldn't find it. Then there was this table you could get, a self-watering cedar table to put your plants in. I was like, oh my God, all my flowers could fit in here. It'd be beautiful. It would fit just perfectly on the little recess between where the door is and where the balcony's rail ends. It'd be perfect right there, and I could have storage underneath. $150. What the hell is that all about? So didn't get that. But I'm trying to look for more ways to enjoy having a balcony garden. And unfortunately, I'm Googling around, and most of them is this is how you live sustainably with a back garden. And I'm I'm not trying to live sustainably. I just want something that looks pretty. So I'm not sure what to do there. But let me tell you what, this is the nicest I've ever had my balcony, and it's the most intentional work I have had in setting it up, and it is a real nice little spot. So I'm proud of where I'm at. That was probably the best project I could have done this last week. But maybe next year I'll have a bunch more ways to improve it. All right, did you guys know that cable is back? So, 3 news articles in this week backs up that claim. First of all, Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV are being bundled by Comcast as, quote, stream saver. And it will apparently, quote, vastly reduce prices. Sounds to me a little bit like cable, but okay. Let's see where we're going with the rest of this. So it's limited to Comcast broadband TV and mobile customers. And I guarantee in a year or two, we're going to see, with a bunch of success, we're going to see this outside and more broadly available. Or maybe not. Maybe that was the only way that Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV agreed to it. But it was all in the measure of trying to reduce turnover of people like me, who sign up for a streaming service, use it until I've watched the shows I want to watch, and then I cancel it and move on to the next. And I just cycle through them. Because no one hell I'm paying for 5 different streaming services at one time right now. So, here's your second article. Oh, I'm the jackass who left my phone on vibrate. Oh, and we're about to have those alarms go off. Man, you would think I would get this under control. So here's the thing. Side note, I roll out of bed, throw on some pants, make a cup of coffee, and I sit down. That's where I'm at right now. So my brain is barely functioning by the time we start these episodes. There is no time to get it together. All right, so second one. Disney and Warner Brothers Discovery are going to bundle Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max. They're going to have ad-free and ad-supported tiers. Shocker. And then Disney, Fox, and Warner WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery, are also putting together a sports streaming service called Venue. And you can get it in a bundle with Disney Plus, Hulu, or Max. Now, those are 2 different bundles, too, just to clear that up. But here's my thing. Are we not just heading for a new version of cable? I mean, that's what this is. Bundling might save consumers some money, but at least for me, in my household, we continue on password sharing and cycling through from one streaming service to the next. Watch what you're interested in, and then jump out. Because listen, it's not like it's a weekly episode dump. Like, they drop all the episodes at once, so you can just binge watch whatever you want and then move on to the next form of entertainment. There's no reason to be loyal to any of these brands. They sure as hell are not loyal to you or how much money you're actually making. As far as I can tell, this is all just heading to like mini versions of cable TV. All these bundles, that's what it is. It's just cable TV broken down a little bit smaller. I'm not seeing much of a difference there. So, I also, though, I'm not sure if I'm entirely upset about it. I mean, if I had the disposable income to keep multiple streaming services, yeah, I would jump on this bundling streak. But I think for the lower income, the working class, ain't no way that we're paying for multiple streaming services at one time. We're just going to continue doing what we can to scrape by. And you know what? Spoiler, I don't know how to tell people this, but there are certain sites that you can go to that you don't have to pay a streaming service at all to watch their stuff. I'm just saying. It's really not that hard to find it. All right. Let me pound some more coffee. I got a little bit of a boomer hour rant here. Here's what we need to get through. Speaking of ads, there has got to be a better way to deal with corporations and their ads. It seems like there's constantly new ways for companies to just slam and jam ads down our throats. I got ads at the end of TikToks. I got YouTube telling me I can't watch more than 3 ads and then or more than 3 videos with ad blocker on before I have I am no longer eligible to watch YouTube. And I got Pinterest, which is 50% ads, and I can prove that if you check out my tweet today. I will have a screenshot of an ad blocker on Pinterest, and half of the pins are gone. It drives me nuts when I'm scrolling through. I'm like, oh man, that looks like a really good idea. I click it and I go to Amazon. Are you kidding me? Amazon? I don't have the solution. I'm admitting it. I don't have the solution here. But these ads are getting way too invasive. I remember, it was pre-pandemic. I think maybe in 2018. First time I really started getting militarized against corporations and their ads. I was getting ads in the middle of the ads I was getting on apps. It was somehow, without my permission, tracking my eye movement, and if my eyes weren't on the screen on my phone, than it was pausing the ads until I looked back. I cannot tell you how quickly I uninstalled that app. That is nuts. At least we're not dealing with that anymore. I think there was a lot of public backlash because some other apps started doing that, and they're like, oh. And I think it was just like an ad service that was doing that, but they got rid of that, thankfully. But yeah. And then speaking of invasive, more ads. EA, Electronic Arts, for those of you who don't know, pretty big video game developer or distributor. I mean, it's kind of all of it. But they, in their infinite wisdom, are going to be doing they are considering ads in-game. So imagine at the end of like an Apex match, you get a Domino's ad instead of going back to the main menu so you can start up another match. Imagine, we are reloading into a new area, new part of the map. Let's throw them a Burger King Whopper commercial. What the hell? No. Corporations make enough money off of it as it is. They don't need to squeeze us for every last dime they can make. If anything, to me, it's just maybe, this is corporate greed we're dealing with, and it's maybe getting away from us a little too much. So, I don't know, maybe it sounds like we have some inflated executive salaries that we could be looking at that might solve some of these problems about that bottom line that they're so concerned about. Just a thought that maybe if we reduced executive salaries, we wouldn't be charging $130 for a game that's not even complete at launch. Ubisoft. Now, I have no problem with the small creator chasing that bag and throwing ads in the middle of their YouTube video or in the middle of a podcast. Insert ad here. But I have a problem when it's these massive corporations who don't need that small extra little bit of money. They could easily just reduce executive salaries, and they would have more money than what they get from the ads. And I think a lot of our problems would be solved, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy here. Well, that's the end of my Boomer Hour rant. I was saving the ads thing for a longer episode, but you know what? It's just kind of been bugging me lately with that EA news, with putting ads in the middle of video games. You got to be out of your damn mind. So we got the short and condensed version of Boomer Hour on this Saturday morning coffee episode. I hope you enjoyed listening to my little rant. I got some other Boomer Hours that I could throw out, but let's save that for another time. I've got 2 episodes coming up out of here, and both of them feature the first VIP interview. My mom, shout out to her. So she joined me for 2 episodes, and the first was, I have all these childhood boxes, or boxes filled with childhood sentimental crap. And I'm able to go through it about once, maybe twice a year. And it's extremely mentally and emotionally exhausting to go through these. And so I was like, you know what? There was this NPR episode I saw from February about it. So I went and listened to that episode. And I talk about it in this upcoming episode coming out this Wednesday, in April 19th, the 22nd. And it gives you these steps about how to go through your childhood stuff. And I was like, that's a pretty good idea. One of them was go through your stuff with someone like you trust, to help like process those emotions and memories. And I'm like, okay, who else is going to be a better person to process memories and emotions from my childhood than my mother? And so, she drove up, and, we went through my 2 boxes, my 2 very overstuffed large boxes of childhood belongings, and turned out way better than I could have thought. My mom's never been on a mic, and let me tell you, I was blown away by how natural and easy she took it. She killed it. So I hope you guys give the next 2 non-Saturday coffee episodes a shot, because my mom's great, and she absolutely killed it helping me go through the childhood boxes. And the second episode was that first VIP interview. And so that'll come the Wednesday after this one. So the Wednesday after the 22nd, which, what does that put us at? 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 28, the 28th, 29th? I don't know. Calendar math. It's the next Wednesday. And we did a VIP interview where we kind of talked about some questions around like life lessons and reflections, parenting advice, cultural moments and influences, and the future and worldview. And so those sound like pretty broad categories, but they were all like very deep conversations about like the challenges that life has brought us, and the difficulties in raising a family. We talk a lot about being, a single parent, and my dad just kind of really being out of the picture, and like all the things that we had to do to like step up, and so my mom's lived a hell of a life, and she's had to put in a lot of work to get us there, and I thought it was very fitting to have her as the very first VIP interview for this podcast. So I hope you join me for both episodes, and I think, look at that, this is my last drink of coffee. So that's it for Saturday morning coffee. Thank you for joining for Alcove. I'll see you soon.